What's the hardest lesson I had to learn the long way? It would be accepting that things aren't for me. I spent so much time trying to make things work, all because I heard people say stay determined, always be consistent, never give up. Those type of statements, I misperceived them because in some cases you have to give up and you have to let things go in order to learn a lesson or fully move on completely. I would hold on things longer than what I should. Let's say in some instances I was supposed to let stuff go 3 weeks ago. Here I am 3 years later still trying to forcefully make something that wasn't meant for me work. So learning how to let go and disattach was one of the hardest things that I had to do, but it took the longest for me to do it. What moment in life changed me forever? Finally accepting the reality of things, whether that be in a relationship, finance situations, just in my own personal growth, just observing others, just looking at the reality of things and finally accepting how things really are. Instead of listening to what other people give their opinions about things, me accepting just because the majority is doing it and accepting it, I normally would go along with what the majority do and say, hey, this has to be true, everybody else is doing it. But I was doing it the wrong way the whole time. If something isn't meant for you, then no matter how bad it may feel, no matter how disappointed you are that it didn't work, the reality of the matter is that you still got an opportunity. By me letting that go, it actually helped me to grow more than just holding on to it, accepting pain, accepting conflict, and causing myself to not be at peace. Learning to accept the reality and look at things from the reality aspect of it, that was one of the moments in life that changed me forever. If I can talk to my younger self for at least 30 seconds, what would be some things that I would tell myself? Hey, if the majority is doing it, go the opposite direction. If you see more people going left or right, go the opposite direction. Just because the majority is doing it doesn't mean that it's right. It's better to listen to your inner self, your intuition, than to accept the things of your mind, because your mind is always going to find a way to avoid discipline. Let's just say if you in class and you know you got a test tomorrow, and your best thing, your intuition will tell you, hey, you know you got to study for this test in order for you to pass it because it's a major test in order for you to go forward. But your mind would tell you, man, you got 16 hours. Just wait till a little later on to do it, and you know you can get by. If we always listen to our minds over our intuition, in most cases we will always go the wrong direction. It was some cases where I would choose to listen to my mind, like it just don't want to be disciplined. You know, you could take the time to try to focus on something with your mind. Just stop everything you're doing and just focus mentally on something mentally in your mind, and watch how your mind throw you off of thinking about what that is, just so it can avoid the training that you were trying to do to discipline yourself, to focus. Intuition over mind. I would tell myself that, hey, if you feel that it's right inside of you, your inner self is telling you, go with your inner self, because your mind is going to lead you in the wrong direction. What mistakes did I think was the end of me, but turned out to be my greatest teacher? I was living a life not based off of what I felt like was right, but I felt like other people's opinion of me was best than my own. So it would be mistakes that I would make, and then first thing I would say, oh man, what are they gonna think about this if they find out, and they're gonna destroy me, and they're gonna this and that and this and that. But then after a while, after things actually hit the fan, and it did turn out to be found out by others and they would judge me, it began to become one of the greatest things that I learned from, because why am I worried about what other people think of me? Like, I can't truly be myself and express myself and show my true potential, worried about what other people think. So learning to accept me for who I am and not worried about what others think was one of the greatest teachers that I had ever learned.